I'm sorry on that. So that question goes to Alice and Saboni Faith. Thank you.
1 minute to respond.
Thank you so much for your question. On the part of the registration deadline being 3 weeks old, I think the only solution to that is we improve the equipment needed for the finance department, and also increase the personnel working there to ensure that this period has been capped to 3 or 1 week maybe. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I'd like to congratulate my opponent for echoing what I already talked in my manifesto. It is that office, I'm going to increase personnel. I've already stated it. Even you can see that. That is one way of reducing that long queue. Definitely with many personnel and reducing the rate. People will not be there for more than 2 weeks, or even, it will just be for a week. Count me on that. And then the other one was about, the office being closed. As a lady, why would you close yourself inside the office? It will always be open. Be assured of that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those 3 contestants. I want to believe they have convinced you. Okay? Thank you so much, finance people. Oh, there's another question. Kindly come.
Yes, thank you. All protocols observed. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
To our aspirants, all of you talked about the student work-study program being increased. Before, this much was at 60 shillings per hour. Then it was reduced to 51 shillings per hour. How then do we want to increase it again from 51 shillings to 60 shillings when it had been reduced? Thank you.
Any of you can respond?
So the problem we have to realize is about the coronavirus. When we went home, it almost destroyed everything. So I think they took an opportunity for them to decrease the rates from 51 to 60. And it's like we all started from, yeah, there's no problem, I'm getting there. So 51 to 60 shillings. So back in 2018 when it was 60 shillings, this used to be according to the department you work into, and also how long you've been in the work-study program. So if you're going to increase these rates to 60 shillings, it's going to be a gradual process. It's not going to be a fast process like it's supposed to be. So we are going to identify the students who have been in the work-study program for long compared to others. Then we're going to figure out how much we're going to award each as an additional till the rates reach to 60 shillings, sorry. Yeah.
On the issue, sorry about that. On the issue of increasing it from 51 to 60, that one will have to be there, because if you look at these students, the students are working tirelessly. Let them increase. I will tell them to increase, because even if you look outside here, you will see there is an improvement. So with that, when you tell them that these people have worked more than they used to work, definitely they will have to increase. They don't have an option, actually. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I want to emphasize on the issue of increasing the rate from 51 shillings to 60 shillings. As I have said in my manifesto that we have to evaluate. It is not something which can be done by putting it in place directly. You have to start by evaluating. I said we'll be evaluating quarterly. Quarterly means after 4 months, we'll be adding around 4 shillings each. By the end of the year, it will have reached 60 shillings. Thank you.
Thank you. As I was saying earlier, I think they have convinced you enough. And where you are seated, you have your candidates. Okay? You'll have a chance to vote for her or him. Thank you. We are moving to the next position. And we have 3 beautiful ladies here. And they want to represent you people. I want to give them a chance to talk. Oh, someone else has a question? Please. I said all those people with a question, you should come here so that you don't keep wasting time waiting for you to go around. So the next time, question time, anyone with a question should come up front. Okay? So that you don't keep going back and forth. And that should be the last question, I believe.
Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, I have several questions based on the manifesto presented to me and from the speakers who have spoken earlier. Question number 1 is, the brother said that due to coronavirus, the charges were reduced from 60 to 51. And this is the time that the economy probably was down. And to be honest with ourselves, is that everything during Corona, all charges increased rather. So why could they be reduced? And perhaps, how do you purpose to increase them, you personally? And now, if you increase them to 60, let's do some simple calculations. 60 times 48 hours, that is 2880 Kenyan shillings times 4 weeks, that is 11,520. So, in 1 month, what is the rent in Baraton? And if you withdraw 25% from the money, from 11,520, what do you get? Can it sustain you for rent? Can it sustain you for food? And can it sustain you for clothing? To the speaker number 1, who was Faith Sabuni, in page 3 of her manifesto, it is written, I'm reading paragraph 2. I'll work to ensure that more jobs are created for our students by limiting the number of outsiders who get employed in the university and instead give this opportunity to our students. Now, employment is done to people with, let me use the term papers, if I'm not wrong. Employment is done to people who have went to school, and we are in school. But for people with papers are given employment. For example, with the DVC SARS, with the VC, those are employed. They have papers. So, in our student getting employment, maybe you can explain or expound to us how they'll get employment without papers. And then, how do you limit outsiders to get employment for the sake of students? And how is it possible to raise money immediately you get into office by 9 shillings per hour, And what strategy do you have? How many students are there in the work program such that the money that will be added to their payment after working, and where will it be generated from? And then you said about creating job opportunities. In creating job opportunities, for the business majors know that institutions are said to provide opportunities. So, for example, for the case of the third speaker, she said that there is a 15-acre land which is lying, let me use the term, under waste. So she's planning to have it in place. So what is your institution that will generate these jobs? Thank you.
Okay, 1 minute response.
Number one, you mentioned that about the coronavirus, that it's the reason why the rates have been low, but you got me wrong. I said the coronavirus gave the school an opportunity for them to decrease the rates. Like, it's like we're all starting from scratch. Okay, the 11,000 may be low for them to cater for their lives out there, but as the finance cabinet secretary, I believe that we should create steady cash flow, streams of cash flow from every point of the school. The student cannot only depend on the work-study program. We have many ways in which you can earn this money. One of them is by the return of all events in this school. Number two would be, we live in an SDA community. The chaplaincy, I want to work with the chaplaincy to raise funds for those needy students, because those who are in the work-study program basically are needy students. And the office should also have a helpline in which the needy students can communicate to the office directly with issues with their problem. But it's all about the funds revolving where it's supposed to be. So, and the business open house, which I also mentioned, you may have a product you may want to sell, but you don't have a place where you can sell it. The business open house gives you an opportunity to sell your product without any costs. The cost will be borne by the school itself. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for this chance. First, let me address the issue of providing job opportunities. As you said that she mentioned about, I don't know, the farm that you have said. As for me, we don't rely on what is there. It was there. What was it done with? How sure are you it's going to be done that way? So remember, it was there since time immemorial. And this is one way of me increasing the job opportunities. Look at my project. There is a car wash. That's a guarantee, because a car wash cannot only earn, let's say, you can only spend only like 50K in that car wash, which is a SABU money, and that money you're going to increase more job opportunities, because the people who are going to work there are definitely the students. So, and then the employment of the one that you say that I'll ensure that more jobs, not employment as in what you have thought about it. It's about these areas that students have expertise. The ones that students can do. Like, let's say the finance office. We have finance students. Why don't they give these students the chance to show them that this place, for real, I can do, because this is what I'm studying. More of attachment. So it's not about that we are reducing those outsiders by giving those students their areas, giving those students a chance to work in these offices. As you work there, you're not going to work for free. You're going to be paid, because it is more of, at least you're helping students who are there not to look for attachment outside here, while we have these offices here. So that's why I said we will reduce the number of outsiders. Okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for those responses. We are moving to the next position. And as I was saying, we have 3 beautiful ladies here that want to represent you in the SABU government. I am praying that they convince you so that we can get one of them that will be a leader. Thank you. I will start with, she came late, I'm not touching her. I will start with her. Yes.
All protocols conserved, good afternoon. My name is Joyce Mayo, a sophomore student pursuing Bachelor of Education in English Literature, and it's a great honor to be here. So, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing that ever happened to me was realizing that leadership is not all about power, but empowerment. It's not all about control, but it's about service. So when I realized that, service and empowerment was my call to humanity. As I launch my manifesto today to you, the delegates, representing the students of about 5,000, I'm launching it in plan for a stronger, fairer, just and reliable university where the administration will be put in task in serving students as well. To my manifesto, I have about 7 of them, and I hope it will convince you towards having me as your leader. So first of all, I have advocacy for specific needs of special interest groups. First of all, we have several special interest groups. We have the international students. We have students from humble backgrounds, which more so work in the work programs. We have married students who have children, and they should be considered in such a way that whenever students with children, they're already struggling with studying, so school appointments like church should be removed from them. So in terms of international students, I promise to work hand in hand with the administration to help them in their special needs. We all know that they have traveled all the way from their countries, and having them here, we should make them feel at home, and I'll ensure that the welfare fund is distributed reasonably to them, and they feel they feel safe having us here in an international university. So in terms of working programs, we can use those in the physical plant and those in the cafeteria. They need personal protective things to use. I'll introduce the use of gloves. We all know that we have different types of work, and it can harm us. So they are still students, but having a side hustle. So they should be provided with those things, the equipment that they will use that will not affect them physically. Next is, I'll be your advocate at the Students' Disciplinary Committee. And first of all, no one is perfect. We have all fallen short of God's glory, and we make mistakes. You will agree with me, right? Thank you. So students are born to make mistakes. We have various types of mistakes students can fall into. And my master plan is working in advocating for the student rights. First of all, despite the student handbook being revised, yes, we have the 10th edition currently. We have some spaces where the measures put are not inhumane. For example, we have number 7 in corrective disciplinary measures. You'll go and check. The punishment given there is not humane to students at all. We also have step 5 in the student handbook. So the first thing I'll do after I get into office, with your help voting me as the CS Gender and Special Interest, is the amendment to ensure that students students, both parties, the students and the administration, have a student handbook that is favorable to those both parties, not biased in such a way that it will harm the students. The next thing is, a philosopher once said that the greatest glory in living is not about never falling, but it's about rising after falling. So in the disciplinary committee, our aim should not be punishing students, but it should be having a redemptive measures of bringing them back, because we should not be in a point where we are looking forward to just punishing students and giving them suspension and all those such. I'm there to advocate for the students whenever whenever they have disciplinary issues, and my main aim is thus making a redemptive measure to them. My next point is gender equity representation, service and opportunity provision plan. So my main aim there is to sensitize students towards realizing that we are all equal. Yes, we have the two gender role, and I'll advocate for ladies more so to involve themselves in leadership opportunities so that we have the two gender role applying at large. Next is, so on point of working for ladies, I'll not only work for ladies, but I'll also stand tall whenever we have a boy child who is not given his rights and opportunities not stand for. So I'll stand tall and defend them. The next thing is quality catering, accommodation, and health service plan. So currently we have several students from the on-campus complaining that the food offered at the cafeteria is not, yes, it's quantity food, but it's not quality. So when you vote me in today, I'm going to ensure that I'm going to liaise with the appropriate officers, that is the food service committee, and ensure that we offer food that is quality for everyone. More so considering the amount we pay, we are supposed to get quality food. With that, I'll also form a small committee with involved with the local students and the international students, where I will I'll have a talk with them, and I will try and find out the best balanced diet that they are looking forward to. And with that, liaising with the appropriate officers, I'll advocate for that so that everyone is have the equality. The third one is campus beautification. I will liaise with the physical plan to ensure that we have cleanliness around the school every time, and ensure that we introduce additional dustbins around the school, and also encourage students to be responsible enough in using the dustbins. I'll also advocate for painting of the universities, because we are all aware that they need renovation, right? You will agree with me. So I'll advocate for the painting. And as I finish, my projects is introducing a charity fund where I'll have to connect with people with donations, with students who are able, and the account will be open at the circle where anyone who is willing will connect with them. And that, I believe, with that fund, I'll be able to help needy students, reach out to them, and help them whenever they are in need of it. Thank you, and may God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Good afternoon. My name is Liavuli Faith, an aspiring candidate for gender and special interests from the Department of Education. You know, an alligator and a crocodile both live in water. And if an alligator comes out of water and says the crocodile is sick, we'll have to believe, because like they live together. I, being a student here and having interacted with many students for the time I've been in this school, I have an insight about gender and special interest. In my manifesto, therefore, I declare to undertake my responsibilities in the following agenda. Firstly, I'll advocate for justice at the Student Disciplinary Committee. What is the need of sending someone who has been caught who is having drug addiction, and also someone who has been caught drug trafficking? It doesn't help suspending that student. It doesn't help when that student is taken to probation. The best thing to help to solve that problem or to help the student is by advocating for counseling. We have the university counselor who is there. She's paid by the student to help the student. So it's not good to suspend someone. When that student goes home, the student will continue using the drugs or trafficking the drugs. So it will not help. That is one area that I will have to liaise with the DVC, SAS, and the other appropriate officers to ensure that the mistakes that are done with, by students are pardonable. Secondly, I'll advocate for special needs for special interest groups. In this school, you can agree with me, there is a girl, not even one, who are in this school who have walking problems. They are living with disabilities, and it's not fine. Like this, the administration is quiet about it. A student who has that issue, living in Kimondi or living in Chemundu, has to cover a long distance to come to school, only to attend classes. It's not a good thing when the administration is quiet about it. If I'm chosen and given the opportunity to serve the student, I'll ensure I advocate for that. For we need, those students need to be given a special accommodation, just like the marriage students who are given the marriage quarters. They also have a right to that. If you choose me today, I promise to ensure they are given special accommodation, and also they can even, since we have blended learning, they can even learn using the online learning. The third point is to ensure quality catering. You know, it's not fair. For we pay 43,000, of which some of their money is for food services, and we are given only rice, beans, rice, viazi. We are given, for those students who are, we have issues maybe with ulcers, or we cannot use other foods. We pay 2,500 shillings for the meal card, and we are given only matoke, which is boiled and only mixed with onions. It's not fair. So that is one area that I'll have to liaise with the food service committee to ensure that the food served in cafeteria is of quality. And also for the student living on campus, I'll advocate for affordable food offered at cafeteria, and also introduce a mess system where a student is able to get food at a comrade price. You can't just go and eat rice, beans, then you pay 150 shillings. I mean, it's not workable. And also, to continue, our clubs and societies empowerment should be empowered. When is the last time you went out for a trip, academic trip, or even an enjoyment as a club? We pay 100 shillings expecting to be served, or even to be given a chance to interact with other students of different universities, or even go to companies to be educated more. But as the semester begins, it ends with the exam. We only come to school to study. We do not interact with others. That is one area that I'll have to liaise with the departmental club presidents, the club patron and senator of various schools to come up with projects like academic trips that will benefit us students. The last point, I'll advocate for affordable health services in Jeremic. It's so emotional when you are at school, when your parent admitted you here. The parent knows there is Jeremic Hospital there for us. But even if you come to Ladies' Dome, most of the students who get ill, they'll have to travel to Kapsabet, Eldoret, or even go to Barasi dispensary to get services, only just to avoid the 500 shillings that is paid for consultation fee and the corresponding medical charges. That is not fair. It's not fair at all. A student has to forego 200 shillings only to save her life. At the beginning of this semester, there was a lady who died after being taken to Jeremic, just because they are not, the services are not of quality. And that student had to be taken by another student to Kapsabet. Even Jeremic couldn't transfer the student to Kapsabet, and she died in Kapsabet. That is so painful. It's so painful when we pay money. I want to urge you, delegates, to vote for me. If you want change, vote for me. For you are special to be chosen out of the departments that are in this school to come here and choose leaders who will help, who will represent other students, who will cry before the administration and the other offices to hear your plea. That is what I'm here to advocate for. Thank you.
Okay, we shall now have Lady Kerubo presenting the manifesto.
All protocols observed. Good afternoon. My name is Deli Keruba, a junior student taking Bachelor of Education in English Literature. I would like to thank you so much for availing yourselves on this day to represent the whole population, the school. With me, I have my manifestos. And to put these manifestos to place out to work, I really need your support. If you vote me in, I promise to work on them. First, it's about the special needs and the special interest groups. I shall work to ensure we all have accessible and a safe environment. Sometimes we may all fall victims of accidents, or our friends may be disabled in one way or another. We have to have a way of helping such people in our school. I shall also work for the fair working conditions of our fellow students on work-study program. For they shall not be underpaid and undervalued. I pick those examples of working in the cafeteria and the physical plant. I'll work to ensure that they have a protective equipment and safety workwear. With that, they can be able to work well without facing any troubles. I shall also advocate for their respects and their fair treatment. Next is for the students, my advocacy at the Students' Disciplinary Committee. My plan is to form a committee maybe involving the chaplaincy in the DVSA's office, so that we can come up with a counseling where we'll be having a peer-to-peer counseling to help our students who may be falling victims of maybe addictions, so that we can help them overcome the challenges instead of subjecting the students to suspicions. In time, at the disciplinary also, I have to advocate for fair trials to achieve an ultimate goal of justice in case a student has faced maybe he or she has been found with maybe a disciplinary case. I have to work and ensure that they face a fair trial so that before being sent for suspension. Next is on gender equity presentation, service and opportunity provision plan. My plan is to synthesize all ladies and gentlemen so that they can stand up and they don't fear to be counted when it comes to opportunities, maybe in leadership opportunities. Next is the quality catering, accommodation, and health services plan. Through the food committee, where I shall be a member, I will ensure that the cafeteria services are quality, Also, we have for us who are off campus, I'll ensure that there is regular inspection of at the hotels so that they can be always clean foods. Also the vegetables and fruits vendors also as well. I'll ensure that it's of quality to us. Also about the campus beautification plan, I'll have to ensure and work with the physical plant department to ensure that our campus is renovated, painted again, so that it can look more beautiful. Also on the graduation square, you know, it only looks so beautiful on graduations. I'll have also to ensure it always looks beautiful all the time. About the clubs and societies development, I'll have to ensure some clubs like the Red Cross Club, they're given opportunity. We give them the support so that they can also be able to help us in whatever way. Also, I have to ensure that our respective clubs of departments, they're given an opportunity and a chance to meet with their members and have various plans and projects that will enable our university to go far. Lastly, on social health services program, I'll work with the geriatric doctors so that they can be giving us services and also advice about our health issues, how we manage our health throughout our stay at Baraton. Vote for me, Nelly Keruba. Thank you.
We now want to go to the next level of aspirants. Thank you, ladies. But before we do that, we will take some questions. Are there any questions for the three? CS Finance? Sorry, CS Gender, sorry. Any questions? Okay. It seems that we do not have any questions, so we shall go to the next level, which is the aspirants for presidency. We shall start with Ruto Kipngetich. Before Ruto comes, just take a minute.
We will be given the deputy presidents, the two, and then we move to the president.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gesari Faith, the aspiring deputy president in candidature with Ruto Kipngetich. I am glad to have this opportunity to present launch our manifesto today. And before I launch our manifesto, do we also use 7 minutes?
We shall use 8 minutes.
7 to 10. There's no 15? Okay. So, before I even start our manifesto, because my president, if elected, my president would have kicked off everything, but I would love to introduce ourselves as None Left Behind. None Left Behind is a brand that we are leaving no one behind. In whatever case, we are leaving no one behind. And maybe just to tell you a short sentence is that we are godly people, and Jesus himself did not leave anyone behind when he died on the cross. So we ourselves as Christian leaders, we are also leaving no one behind. We are taking everyone with us.
So I had a few issues to lay out from our manifesto. And first of all, I would love to address harassment. Harassment happens in our school, and we cannot keep a blind eye to it. And the first harassment that we meet is at the gate. If you have passed through the gate and you have not been harassed, you are lucky. But if you have been harassed, I am sorry. And the security people at the gate, as much as they are doing their job, sometimes they take it too far. I have witnessed security personnel at the gate manhandling students due to dressing, due to go back and wash your hands, put your mask well, the thing has not taken your temperature, and it is not nice, okay? Especially when a student is in a hurry to go to class. They need to be informed, and to provide a solution to this, we will work with the public relation. Wait. Yes. We will work with the Public Relations Office to ensure that security personnel at the gate know what to do, at the times to do it, and at the situation at the moment to do it. Not to just rumble students with situations that are not funny. And if you agree with me, such situations are not good. Sometimes they are embarrassing to you. You know, you are arguing with someone and people are passing, it is not nice. So we will work with the security, the Public Relation Office to make sure that that is dealt with. And another form of harassment, this one will clearly be known by off-campus students. Off-campus students, you know, are raised very well. You know these people very well. And I don't dispute them. They are doing their work. But they take it too far sometimes. These people have changed their work to be raiding students' houses instead of doing their original work, which is sometimes, these arrests should think more than raiding a student's house to look for illegals, or are you staying with a man? It is bad. I'm not advocating for that. But they should do more than that, more than just that. They should ensure that students are living in a healthy environment. Are these students well taken care of? Are these students, just as others have said, we have needy students in Barasi. Look at the students. Do they have food? You're just going to raid somebody's house. They don't have food. They are surviving on that, you know, maybe alcohol to keep them away from thoughts of what is going on in their lives. So we will ensure that arrays, as much as they raid houses to keep, to make the school run well, or for such security purposes, we will ensure that they do also other works apart from raiding. And we'll also ensure that for security purposes, that another segment is introduced whereby students themselves can be securities of themselves, okay? When a student is a security, this one will provide another job opportunity for work program students, in that when you take care of other students in a security form, you can also get, you get money for yourself, and you also protect other students, which is a 50-50 win, okay? And another form of harassment, which is also viewed by off-campus students, is from landlords. We cannot keep quiet on that. Landlords are taking too much than what they should be taking. These landlords are the people who want a 4 months rent instead of taking 1 month rent. Rent is to be taken monthly, not 4 months. You see, the reason why I'm saying this is because, for example, if somebody is staying in a house which is 4,000, for 4 months that is 16,000, and this landlord say you have to pay before you get into the house, will you pay for registration, which they are hurdling you to finish, or will you pay for your rent? So we'll work with the landlords to ensure that you only pay for monthly rent, okay? And apart from that, we'll work on the internet. This is something that has been said before, but we don't only want internet, we want working internet. in dorms and also in Barasi. And my aspiring president will put more on that. And on sports and entertainment, just as you see on your leaflet, over the past 2 years, we have been blessed. We have many students who have been assigned to our university, and a third of these students are athletic students, okay, or they're sporty students. These students need, sometimes their relief is to go to the field and play. And sometimes we find that we don't have equipments or enough. They may be equipments, but they're not enough to serve the purpose. And for this, we will ensure to work with the field to ensure that we have rackets, balls, nets, and even appropriate kits, in that somebody doesn't go to play with their own clothes. They have specific clothes for playing. And we'll also advocate for a sport bonding day. You see, sometimes we only see our teachers in class. We do not know them maybe outside class. We do not have the opportunity to see them outside class. And for a sport bonding day, it's to ensure that students interact with their teachers outside class. Lastly, one thing that I would like to finish, there are some parts that I have, but I would like to talk about mental health. Mental health is something that we cannot go about without discussing it. The philosophy of this university lies in physical, mental, and spiritual well-being. But over the years since Corona started, mental health has killed people more than the way Corona has killed, more than the way AIDS has killed, and anything else. And when we create awareness about mental health, just to align a few mental issues that students in our universities are facing. Number one, when somebody lacks fees, that is the mental health issues. It will cause stress. When somebody lacks food in Barasi, you cannot concentrate in class if you don't have food. Another thing is heartbreak. We cannot assume that people outside there are having romantic relationships. And when somebody leaves you, it will cause stress. And in turn, this stress will bring a toll on your classwork. It will bring a toll on your interaction with others. And another thing that I would like to highlight, we are living in a university that is diversified. Everyone is coming from every race. People are rich, people are middle, people are poor. And I want to be like somebody who is rich, and I am not getting to where they are. And in turn, it will cause me to have stress, which will affect these students. They will have stress, and just as you are seeing, if something like that happens, the students tend to, take extreme measures like trying to take their own lives. So, as none left behind, we will ensure that we listen, we pay attention to you, we give you solution, because a problem half shared is a half solved. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. It's not good to stay not good. Remember, your case is not hopeless. You are not the first nor the last. In a world filled with hopelessness, we want to whisper hope, a brighter hope that your Redeemer lives and he identifies with situations. I'm standing before you as Ruta Kimyatich, with a joint candidate with Kesare Faith for the President and the Deputy President, respectively. And since she came, we had planned otherwise, but we can still fit in. I will give our introduction as planned. The first one, as we stand here, I want to say that number one, we are objective. We are ready to listen, and above all, we are team players. We want to work with each one of us. Another point is that we possess a drive not just to change, but a meaningful change that each one of us here will be included. That's why we say we are team none left behind. You are not left behind. I'm aware that the Students Associations of Baraton University, SABU, was formed and mandated to serve the student community in its pursuit of, the first one is academic excellence, peace, social welfare, integrity, and justice. And our manifesto is geared and structured to guarantee that these aims and motives of academic excellence, peace, social welfare, and justice are achieved. The first one I will tackle is to deal with academics. If elected, I will liaise with the DVC academics in coordination with the CS of academic elect to ensure that we achieve the following. The first one is expansive and all-inclusive academic programs. When we say expansive and all-inclusive academic programs, I'm referring to situations whereby we have some of our students who have studied in the diploma and the certificate, and they want to upgrade to the degree courses for the same. If elected, I will ensure that the courses that recur, and you will agree with me that these courses that recur, number one, it will be costly. Number two, it will be time consuming. I will ensure that this is considered if somebody has advanced for the same, those ones are exempted. When it comes, also another point on expansive and all-inclusive is when we talk about the honors convocation. You are aware that the recognition of honors convocation are not accompanied with a tangible reward. If elected, I will ensure that those recognitions are accompanied with a tangible award. And also, our colleagues and brothers, students who are studying the certificate and diploma are also included. No one should be left behind. The next one is streamlining existing academic framework. If elected, I will advocate for better interaction of the vicarious and the concrete experience. For example, increase in the number of academic trips and tours. This will enable our students to acquire deeper understanding of knowledge, which will lead to academic excellence. Expansion of attachment schemes. If elected, I will advocate for prior, proper, and effective communication and awareness. We have situations whereby our students go for attachments, but on reaching that place, they are not aware what should carry with them and what should be provided for them. I will advocate for proper, prior, and effective communication and awareness. Also, I will advocate for subsidizing fee, for example, for nursing students. Those who attend clinicals and those from nursing department will understand me here. That they pay fee to be transported to attend their clinicals. I'll advocate for this fee to be subsidized in conjunction or while liaising with the DVC academics. Another key point is improvement of the library services and facilities. Number one, we should, due to the increasing number in our campus, in the recent, we should increase the number of computers in the postgraduate and undergraduate commons, so that our students will increase or will ease the congestion. This will allow our students to access their online research, academic assignment in time, and also to have enough time for learning. Another point on the library is that will liaise with the librarian, if elected, is to ensure that we increase the number of computers used to access the OPAC homepage. If you visit the library, you will realize that we have two, but the numbers are increasing. We should increase to serve the students. Another point is that we will ensure that with the increasing numbers also in matters academia is that we are running shortage of chairs and armrests. While students are attending for their classes, they will have to shift chairs and armrests from one room to another. We delay in time to be ready for their lectures. We will advocate for increasement, and we will liaise with the DVC SARS to ensure that this is achieved. Another key point is the welfare. My desire is to uphold the welfare and position of every bona fide UAB student based on the university policies, existing human rights laws, and priorities guaranteed for each and every student. These, dear comrades, will ensure that the esteem of every student matters and none should be left behind whatsoever. And now to the project, the None Left Behind project. Our agenda, aim, motive, and calling is anchored in 3 words: none left behind. It is not only a summary to our agenda, but also our leadership model. None Left Behind project is of the comrade, for the comrade, by the comrades. It is a progressive agenda suited to achieve a change in paradigm of leadership. It fosters a student-based leadership where students is a stakeholder. When we say student is a stakeholder, is a customer. So this leadership is based on the students and not us. None Left Behind agenda is the voice of the unspoken, voice of reason. Even if you are the only one, that's how what you are, and that's the philosophy behind it. And we are doing it because Jesus shows us how to. He left none behind as he died on all that rugged cross, as he paid us to follow his footsteps. And so we are in the business of leaving none behind. And before I give my final remarks is to you, the delegates. If elected, I will ensure that the delegates, because you have been given that duty and responsibility to elect leaders, I will advocate for policies that the delegates also will be included as part of the government, so that we will not have a situation whereby the delegates are selected only to vote and be dissolved. They will be part of the government to ensure that they provide the balance, checks and balance, because they are the one that the students have placed them to vote on behalf of them. And this should be accompanied with allowance in that service. And now our final remarks. Honorable members in this electoral college, I want to say this in my humble submission, that you carry the blessings of all other students' population to make the right and informed decision on their behalf. Therefore, I ask you to consider our candidature for assured results. Be the change you want to see as we ensure that none is left behind. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We thank the Lord for this opportunity that He has given us so that we can also hear what we have as a government, what we can offer to you, and what you, by your powers, you will bestow upon us to do some responsibilities. In our government, let me start by introducing myself. I'm Billy Ayeko. I'm in my 4th year of study, theology, and she's my running mate, Emma Cherop, and she's in her 3rd year studying education. And we thank you once again for this opportunity. Before I start with our manifesto, because our manifesto is based on 7 agendas, we are in a world whereby promises have been made, but sometimes they're unrealistic and not achievable. But in our government, we want to deal with things that are very achievable and not colorful words that we'll be using to cheat you around here, but we want to give you the reality. In our government, we will establish the very first item, a comrades kitty. Many a times in this institution, we've had comrades going without food. My service at the chaplaincy has taught me that many students can't even afford a single meal in a day, and they go without food. Yet we have a students' government that most of the time only do projects that are favoring the administration and not the comrades. In our government, we will allocate, through the Public Accounts Committee of the SABU government, we will allocate Kenya shillings 500,000 for this kitty, known as Okoa Comrade Kitty, that in our government, no comrade will go without food because of lack of money. The same will cover rent. Sometimes we've had people being locked out in Barasi because they cannot afford the money that is required for the rent. That particular money will cover that kind of need, because we want a government that will not only invest in the administration, but also will invest upon the comrades, because your life and also your presence matter. We are the largest consumers in this institution, and you must be covered well as the students' body. The second thing that we want to handle in our government, we have changes in the academic bulletin. Right now, in the SABU Constitution, Article 9, Section 2, Part A, gives the SABU president the opportunity to sit in the Academic Standards Committee that debates on matters academics. And in our government, I will push, because right now the GPA for 2nd class upper is at 3.3. It was raised to 3.3 from 3.0 initially. So they raised the GPA of 2nd class upper to 3.3 without changing the grading system. So in our government, we'll advocate for 2 things, because I'm sitting in that committee by your powers this afternoon, that either they lower the grading system to 70 to be A, that is done in normal public universities, or they keep the grading system 80 to be A, but they lower the GPA to 3.0. And that will be possible, dear comrades, by your powers this afternoon. The third item that we want to handle in our government is the issue of missing grades and poor grades. We have seen students suffering, especially on general courses, that sometimes you've done a course, but the teacher has not posted the grade. Sometimes you've done the course, but the grade that you've been given is so poor, because I believe a course like life and teaching, you should not get a D. We are Christians, we cannot fail issues with Jesus. But sometimes after doing the exam, you are given a poor grade, and you discover that that is not what you deserved. So in our government, we will push for fairness in the issue of allocation of grades, and also we will be following those with the missing grades. Just come to me, and also in collaboration with the CS academics, we will pursue that course to ensure that you have your grade in place. The third thing, we have the issue of registration stalemate. Many of us, or majority of us, are government-sponsored students, and we never chose to come to this university. It is the government that sent us here. So once we are here, we should be handled as people who are sent by the government. Some of the time, they need us to pay 20,000 in order for us to register. Yet, government-sponsored students should be paying 24,000 in order for them to do the examination. So if you calculate 60% of 24,000, it's around 14,000. So comrades, we should be given that opportunity based on the policy of the school of 60%, that with 14,000, you can register and do your examinations. Then we also have the issue of help. This particular year, help delayed, meaning that there is poor coordination between the administration and the help. So what we will do in our government, by the powers you will give us this afternoon, we will make sure that we have a help committee that will constantly be in communication with the help team so that money is sent to us in time and that we are registered as comrades in time. Then the next item, the fifth item that we have as a government, an increment in the work program. You know, many of us, we've talked about work program here, but I can tell you that none of the people who've spoken here are in work program. But personally, I am in work program, and I know the rates and also how students are frustrated when they're looking for that 25% or for the posting of the work program. Up to now, the January salary for work program has not been posted. Some have also not received their December salary for work program. Yet we're in this institution, and they're saying that work program is a sponsorship or a scholarship program. How can it be a scholarship program yet it is frustrating students? In our government, we will push, because this issue of increasing money from 51 to 60 has been impossible, but we will push that any student that is not registered, they only allow you to do 48 hours. But we will push that once you've not registered and you're under work study program, you should be allowed to write 60 hours as a student, because that is what will help you to raise money. Some of us are also self-sponsored. You cannot pay this tuition fee or this particular money with the work program unless the rates are also checked properly. And that we will do by ensuring that once you are not registered and you're in work study program, you will be writing 60 hours. And it is possible because the school has money. And as a government, if you give us power, money will be found. Then the sixth item is the issue of forbearance in matters pertaining discipline. The SABU Constitution, Article 9, Section 2A, also gives the SABU president to sit in the students' subcommittee of students' affairs so that they can handle or edit the students' handbook. And you've discovered that we've been harassed around by even the school calling our parents because we don't have masks. That is a petty issue that our parents must not be disturbed on. We need a government that will be advocating for the rights of the comrades, in that matters pertaining discipline will be handled properly and with a lot of concern. And before I continue or move to the last part, I will request my deputy, Emma Cherop, to present something also on matters pertaining discipline.
Okay, thank you for this opportunity. First of all, I'm Cherop Emma, Department of Education, Humanities and Social Science. Myself, as the Deputy President, being a member of disciplinary committee, I will not allow any student to be suspended without anything that can warrant a student for suspension. And this will only be possible if you fought for us. Okay, many of you say that I'm strict. Yes, I was strict. But remember, and put it in consideration that I was working for the administration. And now, when you are going to elect me, I will use that strictness and firmness to represent your interests and agendas to them. And they will work on it and will ensure everything goes smooth as we need as students. Comrades, power.
Thank you so much. The last part, the seventh item, because we chose 7 items because 7 is the number of perfection. And by the grace of God, we will push these 7 agendas. The amendment of the SABU Constitution. Beloved, this particular afternoon, you need to know that this is the SABU Constitution. You can see it is not protected from any editing. And in the soft copy, it is under Microsoft Word. Anyone can edit the Constitution at any time. Yet the Constitution is the rule of the land. And the Constitution exists to protect the weak. So in the Constitution, this same Constitution, Article 31, Section 1, allows the Students' Congress to amend by way of a dish that in case a comrade die, we should be handling it in a particular way and in a special way because that comrade is part of this institution. And note that we are giving some percentage that is not so much helpful. Then in also this very Constitution There are no roles for senatorial aspirants or maybe residential senators. They are earning salaries, but they have no roles here because this constitution does not cover them. But when we put their roles here, we will be supervising them to make sure that the RAs are not frustrating you off campus, and also the issue of water and the issue of landlords, because we will have a committee that will be in charge of matters pertaining rent. No one will be increasing rent in any way that is not allowed. Then lastly, comrades, this particular afternoon, you've been elected here to come and represent the students. And whatever you will make history in this institution, because by your votes, you will choose a leadership that will not represent specific interests, but will represent the interest of the comrades. So vote for Billy, vote for the comrades' voice. Thank you so much.
So thank you so much. I think the die has been cast. I'll encourage just a question or two. Do we have people with questions? Kindly come over.
Thank you. All protocols observed, good afternoon. To our presidential candidates, I've got a couple of questions to you. Number one, all of you are talking of registration, issues with registration and finance during registration. What happens when I graduate leaving a sum of 20,000 shillings in my account? Where does this money go? Number two, all of you are addressing us on residence assistance. When I was registered in this school, I found a post of plot assistants, PAs. 2 plots had 1 PA. This means that it was easy through the PA to reach the students of campus than it is now. This post was done away with. I don't know where it went to. What are you doing to bring back the PA because they were of importance to us? Number 3, all of us have talked about drugs, but we find that there are some students who have been deeply rooted into drugs to an extent that rehabilitation cannot work. They find it that without the drugs, they cannot do their daily activities. What are your plans for such students? Or for example, if I'm arrested outside there doing drugs, but I can't do without the drug, what are your plans for me? 4, sports. The only way I can know I'm talented is when I've been exposed. KUSA is going on outside there. Baraton University is not participating in KUSA. What are your plans for KUSA? And if KUSA cannot work, then what do you have for us on exposure by sports? 5, and finally, the previous leaders have promised to reach us to Canaan, only to reach River Jordan, and we are attacked by crocodiles. Same is being done here. You are promising us heaven. How are we sure that we are going to reach Canaan and see the fruits of Canaan? Thank you. God bless you all. God bless Baraton.
Good afternoon again. Very well. I have a couple of questions to our presidential aspirants. Number 1, I want to ask Faith Gesare. You talked about the issue of comrades being raided at night for the purpose of records. Are you promising the comrades that they will no longer be raided again? Another issue to both of the teams is that HELB. Actually, HELB had a mess this semester because we had to wait for about 2 months for the HELB to come out. So, do you have something about HELB, to do with HELB? Another one, a very serious issue, is about theft cases and none of you addressed that issue. In fact, we had a lady last week. All her things were stolen. Until now, she has nothing. So what about theft cases around Barasi? How are you going to address that as the student government? Another thing, maybe the last question is about food at the cafeteria. Now as we speak, food at the cafeteria, it costs 150 shillings for one person. So maybe, do you intend to lower that price to a comrade price or what? Because a comrade may be 50 shillings to 100 shillings. Are you promising the delegates that you're going to work on that? The last question goes to the Deputy President for Billy. She says at first she was very strict to students. So how are we sure that this time, if you are going to be the Deputy President, you are not going to be even more strict to us? Thank you.
Okay, my pleasure to take this chance actually to ask some questions or concerns. Okay, the first one is directed to the Deputy of Keeping a Teach, if I'm not wrong. Faith Gisare. Okay, you've talked about a plethora of issues here that you're going to do, and I'm actually concerned with the first one, that is the harassment. You have actually talked about that the security personnel at the gate are actually having so much entitled powers that they are harassing students. But you get that the security personnel there, they are working as stipulated in the student handbook. So are you trying to insinuate that you are, if elected, you are going to go against the student handbook? Because you've talked about maybe not wearing mask well, you've talked about dressing code, and all these are addressed in the student council, the handbook. So are you trying to say that all this, if you want to be elected, you'll go against the student academic handbook? Okay? Yeah, because actually I thought you could have told us of how to actually improve our health. Me, I'm a laboratory scientist, and you said about if maybe you wear mask wrongly, you should be allowed to enter in the gate, and actually you'll be at high risk. Okay? So try to reaffirm to us whatever you mean in the harassment, because you've even talked about the RAs and the PAs, that they are harassing students outside there. Here comes in when there's a problem. For example, I was in a certain plot and we had a drug addict there, abusing drug, and we have a passive smoking. And you talked about they should not be raiding. They raid because of an issue that has arisen that is going against the students' affairs, okay? And to the general question to both the those aspiring for the presidential seat, all this you've said, you can't accomplish them you alone, but you'll use your secretaries all these years. You've not told us the criteria you'll use to actually put them into one direction as to the way you have told us here. Okay? Actually, thank you.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Newton, #Wakiri. I don't like working with second-hand information. That's why I want to pose a very narrow question to Mr. Mbile and your running mate, Deputy President. Mr. Mbile, will you kindly mind to answer me this question? My question is very narrowed. Are you an associate pastor of BOC? Yes or no? To Emma, are you a BOC associate deaconess? Commissioner in charge, security officers, Baraton TV in charge, and my fellow delegate in charge. I rest my case there.
Also, good afternoon. My question is to Mr. Billy. So, you talked about establishment of Comrades Kitty. I would like you to elaborate more on that. Then to your deputy, you know you are so strict. Everyone knows that. So, how are we supposed to know that will not be strict on us, then we'll be on the other side of the administration. Or we are supposed to find out when you're already in the office. Then another issue is about the tenants, like we are the tenants, and the landlords and the landladies in the Barasi. How are you supposed to solve the, like they are increasing rent. So I would like to know how the both aspirants, how you are planning to tackle on that. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your questions. And before I go very far, to my delegate over here, Baraton TV is here. I did not say that students should not get into school without masks. I did not mention that I will go against the student handbook about harassment at the gate. Whatever I am presenting here is what comrades told me and what I viewed. I did not say and I stated very well that as much as they are doing their work, they go over. The student handbook states very well. You had your time to ask your question, so give me time to answer. When the student handbook states very well about dressing, these students know how they are to be dressed. And sometimes if you look at the gate, most of the cases are not about dressing. Don't get me wrong. Don't crucify me on such things. Okay? The next thing that I would like to handle is about graduating. There's somebody who asked about the money that remains in the account during graduation. If you do not know, your money is refunded by the finance back to you. If there is credit in your account, it comes back. About drugs, there is nothing that is impossible. There is nobody who is beyond repair. Some of these students who are abusing drugs, they are not beyond repair. Somebody is 20 years old. Somebody is not beyond repair. There is counseling. There's other students who can be peers to them, and they can help them through the process. And there was another thing about Nelson Osebe asked me about harassment from it was my delegate over here. Harassment, yes, arrests are doing their job, but I stated very well that they should do more than raiding. I did not say they stop raiding, or who asked the question. They will not stop raiding. It is their job. But sometimes they should have a notice, at least tell you, not ile force when they come and they are, badging and you're trying to defend yourself. They should at least inform you of why they are there, okay? And about food at the cafeteria, my president will address that. There's somebody who has said about heaven, we are promising you heaven and we'll leave you to the crocodiles. We have not promised something that we will not deliver. We promise you. And if you look at our manifesto very well, we have not stated something that cannot be delivered or is unbelievable or is unrealistic. Yes.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your questions. I'll start with the first one. Somebody, let me pick in from where she left, raiding. When we say raiding, we want the arrest to be there, for example, when our students are being harassed by the landlord. For example, if you are paid the rent for the first month and you haven't completed the 4 months, and somebody wants to close your house, let's say on 15, for example, the arrest should be there to protect you. We don't want a case whereby the work of the arrest is just to come for the raiding when they need the illegalities. We want to be there to assist the students' needs. The matter of security and theft. We are aware that with the numbers of the Baraton University, Baraton Center is one of the centers that raise the highest revenue to our county. And if elected as a student leader, I will liaise with the county government to ensure that with this privilege that they get from us, because we are, we should ensure that they provide security. And the OCS of this word is around here. So it is a privilege because he is adding them right as we are speaking. So we want to ensure that security is provided. We want to also to ensure that the security light should be placed not only along the roads from Chemundu, around Barasi, or Urban Estate. We want security lights to be placed even in Power Place, on your way to Richmond, on your way to Castello, to ensure that each student, for example, if you are from the library at 10:30, or if you are attending your class at 6 a.m., you are comfortable walking. Another issue is that the one for food. If you have read our manifesto, we'll advocate for whereby a student pays for what he or she wishes to be served. We know institutions who are doing the same, and we will borrow the same if elected, and liaise with the DVC SAS to ensure that this is incorporated in our university. For example, imagine a situation whereby you as a student, you have entered cafeteria only to take a cup of milk and 2 buns. And then there is this something called, we call it flat rate. Flat rate shouldn't apply because you should get the services should be proportional to what is charged. For example, if a student has signed out, for example, and he or she has paid the money for the whole semester, that when she is away, that money shouldn't be deducted from his or her account. When we talk about HELP, HELP is not an organization for only one university. This is a universal thing. And you will agree with me that HELP pays to all students in our country. So what we need to do as a university is to write to them. As the administration have been doing before, we had some time that the HELP people were here. And what we are lacking in our university is proper awareness and communication. If students should be aware that these people are coming to our university, they should go to them to seek assistance. This will enable them to be getting the help in time. When the issue of promises, I begin by saying that we are objective. When we say we are objective, we stand by fact. And the statement that follows that we say that we are not just for change, but a meaningful change. We want a change that the students feel. And excellence is what determines this change. We don't want a situation whereby we promise you, then if you elect us, after 1 month, we come back to you and we tell you that we want to do this and this for you. We want a situation whereby if you have elected us, you should be actually surprised while working that this has been done, this has been done. So excellence should show, because it is in greatness that service shows. Thank you so much.
Once again, good afternoon. Sorry. Good afternoon. The very first question was about the issue that you are graduating and you've had 20,000 left in the account. And I will answer it with this question. Imagine with the very expensive school fees of Baraton, why would you choose to pay the university extra money? Then apart from that, when someone has got an extra account remaining in their account, an extra money remaining in their account, you are allowed to go and pick something from the supermarket that is worth that kind of money. Because normally, we've never had students who have like more amount of money remaining. And even if it remains, that now falls with the administration. But as the students' government, we are dealing with your affairs that are affecting you directly and that we can achieve and also are realistic. Then the question about plot assistance. The plot assistance were removed because of the coronavirus. And that position, if you want it, we can push to the Dean's Council that it be implemented or it be reinstated. Then the issue of drugs. It is very, like, we as a community or maybe we as a team, we did not handle anything to do with the drugs because we've discovered that there are a majority of things that makes people to abuse drugs. Some of them is stress or maybe even due to lack of finances. And that's why we said that we will have a kitty that is called Okoa Comrade Kitty that will be covering financial needs of students, especially the needy students. So after handling that, we will now formulate a committee that at least will be listening to what the students are going through, because behind each and every drug addict, there's a reason behind their abuse of drugs. I've counseled many, and I've discovered that they go through a lot that sometimes even originate from their families. So we cannot penalize them based on drug abuse. Then the other question was about canon philosophy. That's a very good question that leaders have always promised us honey and milk, but at the end of it all, they don't achieve. That is why, as for us, we never did a lengthy manifesto. We did a simple manifesto that covered 7 areas that are achievable and very realistic. And in fact, after you elect us in office by your powers this afternoon, we'll have a committee that will keep us on check, that how have they done these particular things that they did to us, and we'll be ready for any forum that will question our work and also how we've moved forward with the things you gave us. Then the other question was about HELB, and I mentioned about HELB, that we will form a committee that will be constantly communicating with the HELB people, because we have their numbers, their contacts, that they disband money in time, and if they cannot, they can write a note like they did the other time that allows the government-sponsored student to close registration, then they can continue with their learning. Then the issue of food at the cafeteria. During the normal semester, when the school is in session, the amount per meal is 100 bob. But during the inter-semester, the amount per meal is 150. So what we can do as an organization or as students' government, we have the students who work in the cafeteria. And through the payment of our meals, they're also paid their dues. So if we reduce or if we push for the reduction of the money, to me, you're also saying that the comrades under work program in the cafeteria to receive a lower pay. So if we care about one another, we will be lifting one another's hand that everyone is comfortable and everyone is cared for. Then the other question was about the issue of me being an associate pastor or a Baraton University Church. You know, I am in a work program in the university church. Just as someone in the PPD is also working for the school, I'm also in the work program working for you people. May God bless you so much.
Okay, I will address the first question about sports. First of all, I personally associate mostly with sports. For now, I'm in charge of the Office of Sports Office. There, we need, or we require many students to come and maybe play in different places in sports. And for that, we encourage many students to come and play. And for us, when you elect us as our leaders, we will associate with the CS Sports to ensure that our students go outside there, maybe to show their talents from different places. Maybe you can go to another universities and have association with those players in the other side. Then, another thing about this question that, are you an associate deaconess? I say no. I was working with the chapel assistant as a head of those chapel assistants, not a deaconess. Then, something about strictness. Remember, I'm an instructor in PE, okay? In PE, physical education, you need to be strong and strict for your students so that they can do the exercise. Because if they cannot do, they will not be able or to manage that class at the end. And you know, physical PE, it's about physical fitness. So, kindly put that in consideration. Don't crucify me because I was working with the administration. But now, when you give me powers, I believe and promise I will change everything. And if something goes wrong, you are there to ask me, okay? Just come to me, approach. Emma, you promised us to do this. Why not? I will change. We are there and we are human. We have the right to change each other. Thank you.
Oh, he has?
Yeah, I have asked.
Okay, done. No. You had.
But I have a right to. He hasn't answered my question. I'm not asking another question.
Okay, let him just ask. Let him just ask and we stop at that point.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry if I'm disturbing you. It's like I'm not asking a new question. You see, Mr. Billy here is telling me, okay, the comrades, like, about the comrades kitty. I asked how. Not about establishing, how. That was the question. So I'm just reframing the question again so that he can answer. Or then maybe leave it. Maybe it's a false promise. Thank you.
Sorry, I think he was seeking just clarification. Yeah, okay. I don't want to give more space because we are running out of time. Okay. So we are moving to the next level and the final leg of this exercise. You've heard them speak. I hope they have convinced you. So I have 3 ballot papers here. We have a ballot paper for the presidential. Okay. We have a ballot paper for gender and sports. And we have a ballot paper for finance and planning. Okay? Their pictures are there. If you're not sure, just look at their faces and give them a tick. Okay, so the order is this. We are going to call your names department-wise. And then you will come, you pick the ballot papers, the 3 of them, you go there, mark it, drop it, and go back to sit. No congestion at this place. We move systematically, and we're hoping we do it very fast so that we finish. Okay? So my commissioners here are seated. Come with your pen. Corona season is still here with us, so don't expect that you're providing a pen. And you're doing either you're doing a tick or an X. So try to avoid invalid votes as much as possible. Okay? Try to avoid, I think these people are university people. I would expect that in the village where mama that have not gone to school, they don't understand that they cut another 2 and they tick 1. So they know that they are failing the other one. Sorry for that. So, Commissioner Dr. Mambo, kindly guide us.
As Dr. Mambo is asking, Mr. Chair, I wanted to suggest a manner that is it possible we have a way that if someone is coming to vote from that side, when he or she is going back to sit, he can use this.
Yes, you're not going back.
Yes.
So when you come vote, you drop it, and then you go back through this end. Okay? So when you're called, you'll go that direction, pick the vote, and then you go back. I have placed the agents strategically in this side so that they can just see the boxes, but not see what you're doing in that end. Okay, is that okay with everyone? So I just want to show you the ballot boxes. You confirm that there's nothing inside it, and then we'll proceed. We have a presidential ballot box. And this is it. It is empty, I believe. That is the lid, so you put your ballot through this point. So the next one is finance and planning. Confirm that it is empty. And the last one is gender and special interest. Kindly remove that thing. Okay. So confirm that it is empty. Okay. And then we'll lock it. So I think the agents have confirmed.
Can this be removed, or what is the role of this?
These are phones. You can just put them aside. Yes. These are people's phones. Take care of them kindly. So, after voting, you fold it like that. Are we together? Urefu wake for those people who understand lengthwise, eh? Don't do it like this. Try to do that. And some people, even the mamas, go to an extent of even doing this. Let's not go to that direction, kindly. And then ensure you drop it in the right box. Okay? Thank you so much. So, Commissioner Dr. Mambo.
We now want to take this opportunity to get you cast your votes for the 3 executive positions, President and Running Mate, also for CS Gender and Sports. Then we also have CS Finance. We shall call you as per your schools because we are trying to avoid crowding as much as possible. So we shall start with the Department of Accounting. We will call you and you shall come to cast your 3 votes and ensure that you put them in the right ballot boxes. Are you calling the session to order? Or do you have a question? Mr. Chair?
Okay.
Once again, thank you so much. The money that I'm talking about, each and every year, the students' government is given a particular amount of money to budget for. That is why we have shades around that they do. That money is allocated. So it is possible to allocate that money for the students. No shades. We'll invest on the comrades because it is the voice for the comrades.
Okay, thank you so much. Had you called a name? Had you called a name? Okay, that's a good idea. There's an objection, and some people say they want to see what is happening. Anyway, just go back and sit. Okay? Sawa sawa. So we are calling the first 3. Oh, okay. Someone has just raised. Make sure you put the mark inside the box. Anything goes outside, are we in agreement? Anything goes outside is a spoiled vote. 2 marks in the ballot, spoiled votes. Are we in agreement? No signature, no drawing, nothing. Just either a tick or an X. Any objection to that? A tick or an X within the box. Nothing outside. Thank you so much. In case of a tie, I think we are 40 delegates inside here. That we will get to that point when we get there. Okay, people are looking ahead, eh? Okay, Commissioner.
Okay, we shall now go back. We said that you are voting for 3 main positions, President and Running Mate, also Gender and Special Interest, and CS Finance. We shall begin with the Department of Accounting. We will have you come forward to cast your votes. So Joseph, Justus, and Abigail, please come. Joseph, Justus, and Abigail. Okay, so we shall have the delegates from Biological Sciences and Agriculture. We have Christine, Mercy, and Elijah. Christine, Mercy, and Elijah. That's from Biological Sciences and Agriculture. Okay, we have Department of Education following. That's Brenda, Samuel, and Hassan. Brenda, Samuel, Hassan, Department of Education. Department of Humanities and Social Sciences will follow. Nelson, Mikinea, and Yukabeth. Nelson, Mikinea, and Yukabeth. So we shall have Anne Wanjiko voting for Humanities because Mikinea is not available. So Anne Wanjiko. So the next group coming is ISC, Information Science and Computing, Sheila, George, and Derek. Sheila, George, and Derek. Okay, we only had 2 applicants for Department of Management, so we'll have both of them come forward, Margaret and Abijah. Margaret and Abijah. Okay, we want to now call the delegates for Maths, Chemistry and Physics. Eldon, Mike, and then Mercy and Newton. Mike, Mercy and Newton. Medical Lab Science, get ready. Dixon, Chris, and Collins. Dixon, Chris, Collins, Medical Lab Science. Department of Nursing, Chelsea, Sandra, and Grace. Chelsea, Sandra, Grace, Department of Nursing. Next is Foods, Nutrition and Dietetics Department. Anne, Jennifer, and Kiboy. Anne, Jennifer, and Kiboy. We now go to Public Health Department that had two applicants, Daniel and Moses. Public Health. Okay, we can have the technology people coming. Philemon, Ronald, and Sharon. Technology, Philemon, Ronald, and Sharon. Department of Theology, Victor, Kevin, and Charity. Theology, Victor, Kevin, Charity. And last but not least, we have the postgraduate students, Judith, Eda, and Abera. Judith, Eda, Abera. Eda and Judith. We are just about to complete our vote casting exercise, and we want to find out if at this point there is any delegate that has not cast their votes yet. Any delegates? Okay. Okay, we have the last person casting in their votes, and as soon as they do that, we shall let you know the way forward. Mr. Chairman, I want to submit to you that all delegates so far have cast their votes, apart from the other one.
Thank you so much. We have come to the end of this noble exercise, and I want to thank you for taking time to elect your preferred candidates. I will ask Commissioner Langat to block that, and then we rearrange the room, and then kindly put it next to the security personnel, that is the officer. And then we rearrange the room for counting, and my commissioners now will turn to be the counting clerks in this exercise. Okay, kindly put it next to the officers, and then we rearrange this place for counting. Just visit. A break of 2 minutes as we rearrange. You can go out and come back. Sawa sawa, let's settle. Let's settle. We want to begin. Agents, kindly get a seat and sit somewhere there. You can carry your seats, these ones. Okay, kindly settle. Okay, thank you so much. We are going to begin with the position of finance and planning. Commissioner Cynthia. Wants us to count. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Okay? So, we have 3 contestants. Kimani, Madam, we pick for Kimani, Sabuni, and Tingoyo. Okay? This one is a spoil. Someone mark all the 3. That one is the first point. Kimani, Tingoyo. Tingoyo. Sabuni. Tingoyo. Sabuni. Sabuni. Tingoyo. Tingoyo. Sabuni. 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 Tingoyo. Sabuni. Tingoyo. Sabuni. Tingoyo. Sabuni. Tingoyo. Tingoyo. Sabuni. Tingoyo. 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 Sabuni. Sabuni. Tingoyo. 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 Okay, no problem. Okay, Tingoyo. I think we are tired. Sabuni. Tingoyo. What I confirm too, they can come. Even the yes. Tingoyo. Tingoyo. Kimani. Kimani. And finally, Tingoyo. Okay, we are going to count. I will start with the far end. We are counting for Kimani. 1, 2, and 3. We are counting for Sabuni. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, we are counting for Tingoyo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Kindly, the 3 aspirants come over. Okay, we are moving to the next ballot. I want you to surrender that. You sign. Here is gender and special interests. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. The spoiled one, how did you put it? The spoiled one. We need to dispose it in its box. Okay, we are counting. She will hold for Faith Liavuli, Kerubo Nelly, and Mayo Joyce. Okay? So we begin. Mayo, another spoiled. Liavuli. Mayo. Mayo. Faith. 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 Mayo. Mayo. Faith. Mayo. Mayo. Faith. Mayo. Faith. Mayo. 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 Faith. Mayo. Faith. Faith. Mayo. Faith. Mayo. 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 Kerubo Nelly. Faith. Mayo. 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 Faith. Faith. Mayo. 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 Faith. So I am counting for Faith Liavuli. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. I am counting for Kerubo Nelly. 1. I am counting for Mayo Joyce Jemutai. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, and 23. Once point. Kerubo. Kindly come over. Now we get to the meat. Yes, and after this we'll go for lunch. Yes, you're all welcome to the community center for food. Okay? Just to be sure. Okay, I'm counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Okay, let's hope we'll not find it spoiled again. I thought it would happen in the villages. Even in the university, you get spoiled votes. Very funny, huh? Okay. Okay, we're beginning. Be very keen, eh? Okay, the first one. Billy. Kipngetich. Kipngetich. Spoiled. Very funny, huh? Kipngetich. Billy. 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 No. Come close. Actually, stand there. Okay, we are going very slowly. And I am beginning. This one is Billy. Oops. Billy, agents. You said we speaking Billy's? Billy. Kipngetich. Kipngetich. Okay, actually, let me show the agents. Yes, that's what we are here. Kipngetich. 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 Billy. Billy. Kipngetich. Billy. Billy. Kipngetich. Kipngetich. Billy. Kipngetich. Billy. Kipngetich. 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 Billy. 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 Kipngetich. 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 Billy. Bill. Kipngetich. Bill. Kipngetich. Bill. Kipngetich. Billy. 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 Kipngetich. And Kipngetich. Okay. Attention. Attention, attention. We are counting now. These are Billy's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18. Okay, attention. We are counting for Kipngetich. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. We are not yet done. Kindly, contestants. I thank that person that gave us a spoiled vote so that we could not have. Everything happens for a reason, right? So whoever asks, yes. Okay, we are moving to the final stage. Okay? Thank you so much for your patience. We have come to the close of this very important exercise. I remember in the previous election for senatorial, we had a tie in the postgraduate vote, and they've been voting this morning. I want to announce their results before we move to the others. So results for senatorial position for postgraduate, which was conducted today. The votes are as follows. Getuba M. James, 9 votes. Muthiani Benedict Mutie, 4 votes. And Getuba M. James is the senator-elect for postgraduate senator. Okay, I move to the second position. And I begin with the student labor. These are 3 copies. 1 copy will remain with the IEC. Another copy will go to the notice boards. No, another copy will go to the Attorney General, who is the DVC SAS. And another copy will go to, we will make several copies for the aspirants and the notice board. Okay? So finance, planning, and student labor position in the 2022 SABU student elections. Votes are as follows. Kimani Tobias Masharia, 3 votes. Sabuni Faith Nafula, 14 votes. Tingoyo Alison Kangogo, 22 votes. I declare Tingoyo Alison Kangogo as the duly elected candidate for finance, planning, and student labor position. Thank you. Votes that were done today for gender and special interest position in the 2022 SABU student election. Results are as follows. Faith Liavuli, 15 votes. Kerubo Nelly, 1 vote. Mayo Joyce Jemutai, 23 votes. I declare Mayo Joyce Jemutai as the duly elected Cabinet Secretary for Gender and Sports Interest and Special Interest position. Thank you. And finally, in the presidential election that were held today, 1st March of 2022, for SABU elections, these are the results as announced. A pair of Ruto, Kipngetich, and Gisare Faith, 21 votes. A pair of Ayeko Billy Olo and Kisos Emma Cherop, 18 votes. I, the returning officer for this election, declare a pair of Ruto, Kipngetich, and Gisare Faith as the duly elected candidates for the position of president and vice president, respectively. Thank you. So I take this time to thank you for being patient. I thank the security personnel for working with us and being patient also. The radio, TV people, thank you so much. And the people that are working even in the kitchen to ensure that we get food, and any other person that was interested in this election, I thank you so much. My commissioners, it has been a long journey since we began, and I believe we've come to an end. I don't know what the future holds for us. I also want to thank you so much for the selfless sacrifice that you've done in this election. As we come to a close, maybe I can just entertain one comment before I welcome the candidates that have been elected to give an acceptance speech, and then we'll break. Yes.
Good afternoon once again. It has been an impressive exercise. And I just stand here to congratulate the IEC. They have really done a tremendous job that deserves a congratulation. Right from the senatorial elections, although we experience our challenges, but with technology there are those challenges. And on that day I spoke and I said the IEC has really done us proud. And I challenged them for this day. You've really proved yourself to be people that we can depend on in this university. And for the candidates-elect, congratulations. Your contestants had brilliant ideas. Please borrow their manifesto and incorporate them in your leadership. God bless you.
Thank you. I said one. I don't know if there's one that feels... Okay, you will be interviewed and you will say whatever you want to say. So allow me to start by inviting, which one did I begin with? Finance? Yes. Who was duly elected? Kindly come over. Congratulations.
Good afternoon once more. Good afternoon. I'm so happy, I'm humble and grateful for everyone. May God bless you so much, and I promise to deliver. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next candidate. Congratulations. Election.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to appreciate each and every one of you for entrusting me with the position, and for the IEC as well for conducting the whole process. So what remains now is action. God bless you.
And finally, the duo, kindly come over. Congratulations on your election. Congratulations.
For the 3 votes that made a difference, and for everyone else, thank you very much. It has been a tough journey. But thank you for IEC, for the clear, transparent election. Thank you very much. And for everyone who believed in us, even, thank you.
The IEC, election observers, the electoral college delegates, the media, and all of you who took part in this process, I want to greet you all. Good afternoon. I'm privileged to stand before you as the president-elect, alongside my colleague Kesara Faith as the deputy president-elect. I am a scientist, and I am a man of few words, but of many actions. What is remaining now is on our side, the excellence to show. As we pledged earlier, we are leaving no one behind. And going outside, we are going as a team, leaving none behind. If I would request those in this room to repeat these words after me: none left behind. None left behind. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We have come to an end of this exercise. I also want to thank the administration for giving us moral support. I know by the end of the day, something will come to your account as a delegate. It was not in vain. Congratulations for being a delegate and giving us the honor of conducting this election. Thank you so much. I will welcome the Secretary to the Commission to kindly give us a closing prayer.
Thank you all. As we come to a close, I'd like us to stand up and have a word of prayer. Let's pray. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for your goodness and your faithfulness. You have led us through this exercise from the very beginning to this end. I want to thank you for everyone that participated in one way or another, delegates, members of the commission, aspirants, and all their supporters. I want to pray for the leaders that have been elected, that, Lord, you're going to lead through them, that the student body of this university will be a body with a difference thanks to their leadership. I pray in a special way for the president-elect and for his deputy. Give them wisdom, give them knowledge, give them understanding. And for the rest of the executive, oh God, go with them. The senators too. This afternoon as we wind up, please go with us, bless us and keep us. And as we go for a meal, may you bless it in Jesus' name. Amen.
Yes, I think can we from outside? I know people are tired. Let's just move from outside. Okay, don't go. Until everybody gets their phone.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a very rigorous exercise, the election of the executive. And of course, we've had 3 executive members of the SABU government being elected today. It has been a very interesting exercise, which has actually, as I was actually watching, it looked like some of the contestants actually garnered quite a little bit more votes than the other, and of course this actually declared them as winners. With me, I'm actually joined by this is Tingogo Allison, who actually contested as a cabinet secretary or secretary for finance, planning, and student labor. Kindly join me. How was the exercise? Please come closer. How was the exercise? How do you feel right now?
I'm so excited. The exercise was tough, but I thank God I matched the victor.
All right. So did you know that you're going to win? Did you feel it?
No, but I had hopes that God will see me through.
What was the secret? What was the secret of winning this?
The secret is working hard for what you want. If you want anything, go for it. Yeah.
All right, probably, maybe, what's your plan? The first thing maybe you're going to start doing for the people that actually voted for you, because everyone that voted for you as the delegates represented the whole student fraternity.
Appreciation. Yeah.
All right, take this time maybe to appreciate them and say what you want to say to them.
Thank you so much to whoever who helped me all through the process. I can't mention all your names, but I'm so humble and grateful. I promise to deliver, and may God bless you so much. I don't have much to say. I'm just happy.
All right, she's called Tingogo Allison. Now you're already an elected. Please move closer. You're moving so far from me. I'm wondering why you're running away. I'm not. Just stand here, please. Get ready to be called member or parliament, or rather elected CS. How does it feel?
Wow.
How does it feel?
So
honorable.
Yeah.
Please work for the students.
I will.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm also joined with CS Gender. This has been a very interesting exercise. CS Gender and special interest. Her name is Joyce Mayo. How does it feel to win? All right, thank you very much, and sorry for the technical hitch. We hope that this comes to you loud and clear. Well, Honorable Joyce Mayo, how does it feel to be called a honorable member?
First of all, I'm grateful to God because leadership comes from God. And then I thank the comrades for entrusting me with the position. Delivering is now what I'm up to.
All right, so maybe what was the secret? How you actually, 3 of you, the competition was so tight. One got 15 votes, another one vote, another one, and you actually got 23 votes, and we had constant spoiled vote. What was the secret for you to actually garner all these votes?
The secret was putting God first, yes, prayers. And then the second one is determination, yes.
All right, so maybe one word for the guys that actually voted for you, or one word to the students who you actually going to represent.
Thank you very much, comrades. Delivering is what I'm up to. God bless you.
All right, thank you very much. Get used to being called Mheshimiwa, Honorable Joyce Mayo. Please work for the students. All the best. Thank you very much. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm also joined by the presidency, the deputy president and the president. I don't know where to stand, whether in the middle. Please stay together. I'm not part of your presidency. It is deputy president and definitely the president. How does it feel to be called the president and the deputy president? They are wordless. How does it feel to be called president and the deputy president?
It feels nice. It is actually a very big task that people have entrusted to us. And just as we had said, we are leaving no one behind.
All right.
We are the same way they believed in us, we are going to believe in them, and we are going to deliver exactly what we have said we will deliver. Yes.
Mr. President, sir.
Yes, sir.
Your honor. How does it feel to be called the president?
First and all, it's like we are short of words. We are just happy, we are excited for this process. It has been a tough journey, but here we are. We are here, just left to deliver, one sworn in. Yeah.
None left behind was the slogan.
None left behind.
So nobody's going to be left behind?
No one, absolutely no one is going to be left behind.
All right? Even your competitors?
Even our competitors, we assure them we are leaving no one behind.
How about me?
Nobody is left behind.
All right, ladies.
If you have to leave somebody behind, it should be no one.
All right, I can hear so many people chanting and celebrating. They're in celebration mode. Maybe how? I mean, I'm even out of words.
Just the way you're feeling is the way we are feeling. Anyway, a lack of words. Let me tell you, it has been a tough journey.
Okay.
We have had to deal with everything. And by everything, maybe our parents understand better because they're the only people who will tell.
All right.
It has been a very tough journey. We have met everyone. Those who don't want us, those who want us, those who support us, those who don't, everyone. And
No.
we have been called every word.
All right.
But here, see God.
All right.
See God.
And now that those that did not vote for you, those that voted for you, those that wanted you, those that did not want you, you are elected president.
Yes.
You have a word for them. Say something.
We are leaving no one behind.
You're leaving no one behind.
We are
President.
going with you.
All right. Those that didn't want you, those that wanted you, they are all now part of this government. No one is left behind. One word for them.
For us, we are believers of service and significance. Excellence should show. Thank you so much.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is President-elect and the Deputy President, Ruto Kimiatich, Gesare Faith. They are so excited. They have fans. They have people that supported them, those that they campaigned together, and they're so ready to go and celebrate. Please, don't remember me. In your kingdom, remember me. It has been good, ladies and gentlemen. This has been the executive positions, and probably if the cameraman can just show me, you can see the agent there. The agent is actually trying hard.
We are just celebrating, man.
All right.
No, we have nothing.
All right.
And ours is to say none is left behind.
All right.
We are including, everybody is inclusive.
Okay.
But for now, allow me, Mr. Arasa, to celebrate first.
Yes.
We'll talk later in the evening. But be assured,
okay,
none is left behind.
Okay.
And in regards to your question earlier, I may contest.
Oh, wait. Just a minute. Is there Mbuzi? Are you running because there's Mbuzi somewhere and you're not... are you not inviting me? There's no Mbuzi?
Man, the question about Mbuzi, for now, let's go for our people first.
What's your name?
I'm Chumo, man.
Thank you very much.
For Kipiniatich Ruto.
Thank you very much. This has been the agent. He's been representing the presidency on Gesare as the deputy president. And of course, Ruto Ngetich, Kipiniatich Samahani, as the president-elect. And this has been Baraton TV. I have been Arasa Enoksinde. I've been watching the whole process. It has been smooth and good. The votes tallying, wow. All I can say is wow. If I can just break this down for you just so fast. For finance, planning, and student labor, we had 3 contestants: Kimani, Tobias, Sabuni, Faith. Kimani got 3 votes. Sabuni, Faith got 14 votes. Tingoyo, Alison got 22 votes. And of course, Tingoyo Alison emerged the winner. Faith Liavuli also on the other side on gender and special needs got 15 votes. Kerubo Nelly got 1 vote, and you also had Joyce Mayo getting 23 votes. And this has also ended up giving Mayo Joyce as the duly elected CS for gender and special needs. And finally, we have the president. This attracted 2 contestants, one being Ruto Kimiatich, of course, together with Gesare Faith, and the other one being Billy Ayeko. This has been the tightest contest. In fact, as the tallying was being done, we were counting. It was a tie, and finally, just three people out of those. The delegates who are there, only 3 voted in favor of Ruto Kimiatich, and that made him the duly elected president. To me, it's just all the best to them. Let them work for the students, and we hope that this is going to be a new beginning for this entire student. Their slogan has been "None Left Behind." Arasa Enoksinde is my name. Back to you in studio. This is Baraton TV, here and hereafter.